What's going on, everybody? It's your man, Chris Thorns. As always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching my content. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Ladies and gentlemen, I got a story I want to bring to your attention, so let's get right into it. Guys, if you look over there to where the pictures are sliding at. As a matter of fact, before I go into this, I just went live just a few minutes ago. I did an update about Troy Coyer, the young child whose body was found in a washing machine, and we found out he was killed by his adoptive parents. So go check that out. You know, a very interesting story developing with him or whatnot. But anyway, guys, for what we're looking at right here, we're looking at Ciera, and we're looking at a guy named Thomas. Okay, what's going on with this story right here? These two are in trouble. They are suspects of what they call shaken baby syndrome. Now, check this out. What makes matters even worse is they already had a child died in their care, all right, a year ago, I believe. Matter of fact, to make sure I'm telling you that right. Well, I don't know if okay, we'll get into that. But a second child dies by this same couple, all right? Prior to this, a 2-year-old boy had died. And from my understanding, what I'm looking at right now is that 2-year-old died because of this thing that got called shaken baby syndrome, where they shake the baby so hard that the baby dies, all right? And this was going on with them, all right? So somehow this same couple was able to get another child and to harm another child, okay? And I want y'all to hear this real quick. And, wow, let's go.
Top story. 2 people are facing charges after the death of a 2-year-old in Buchanan. Authorities are calling it a shaken baby case, and we want to warn you, some of the details of this story are graphic. These are the people charged. They're identified as 27-year-old Thomas Cunningham and 24-year-old Ciera Gillespie. Authorities were called to the couple's home on Valley Green Drive late last month. They say Gillepsie met deputies outside and told them she had left the home to go to the store. They say when she got back, Cunningham handed her the 2-year-old child, whose body was limp and was bleeding. The child was taken to a hospital and pronounced dead. According to a criminal complaint, a doctor told officers the child's death was caused by traumatic injuries consistent with being shaken. According to the criminal complaint, the doctor said the injuries were, quote, the worst he had seen in 20 years. It also says another child from the home had significant injuries, also consistent with being shaken. The complaint says Cunningham told officers he had gotten high while caring for the 2 infants, and he's being charged with child abuse resulting in death and is being held without bond. Gillespie is charged with child neglect resulting in death and is being held on a $200,000 cash-only bond.
He damn near look like he high right there. You know, that's one of the craziest mug shots I ever seen. Okay, and again, y'all see it right here. Second child dies from suspected shaken baby syndrome case. Okay, so they're just getting babies and shaking them to death, or either he's the one that's doing it and she's being negligent and leaving children in this asshole care. Okay, God, excuse me, Jesus Christ, excuse me. Let's see, I want to pull up something else real quick. And of course, this makes it to Crime Online. I think this is Nancy's little website or whatnot. And y'all see the same thing here. A second baby dies by the same couple arrested after a 2-year-old boy's death reports. And it says this right here. In West Virginia, a man and a woman are faced additional charges after another of their children, their children, passed away, police say. According to the Upshur County Sheriff's Office, Ciera and Thomas were initially facing charges for the death of 2-year-old Joseph Tyler Warner, who reportedly passed away from what doctors call shaken baby syndrome. According to the child's grandmother, Stephanie Warner, another child, 1-year-old Hunter Haze Warner, has also since passed away. She called the incident horrible and unspeakable. according to WOTC. A criminal complaint stated that Gillespie told investigators that she went to the store November 28 while leaving 3 children, including the 2 younger ones and the 6-year-old, in Cunningham care. As she was pulling into the driveway, Cunningham called her to claim the 2-year-old was having issues, according to what she told police. Gillespie said she found the 2-year-old limp and with blood coming out mouth and nose. Cunningham called 911. When first responders arrived at the home, Cunningham ran out with the 1-year-old child and said there was something wrong with this baby also. Joseph was pronounced dead upon arrival at the hospital. Lawyer and crime reports, while Hunter, who was in critical condition, passed away over the weekend. The doctor told the investigator that the retinal injuries were the worst he had seen in 20 years, consistent with the child being violently shaken. The doctor said the youngest boy's injuries were also significant and indicative of shaken baby syndrome. Excuse me, indicative. Okay, sorry, indicative. Of shaken baby syndrome. They indicated it was shaken baby syndrome. Wow. On December 1st, they wrote that they felt Cunningham was under the influence of drugs when the incident happened. Cunningham was charged with abuse, resulting in injury and death. Gillespie was charged with child neglect, resulting in serious bodily injury and death. Additional charges are expected to be filed for the youngest victim's death. Meanwhile, GoFundMe page has been set up for the family with expenses. Good old GoFundMe, huh? Good old GoFundMe. Well, y'all know how I feel about them GoFundMes, and I know how a lot of y'all feel about them. In this case, I don't know because, for what I'm reading, what I'm gathering, they are the cause of the child death, and I don't know if I would feel comfortable even donating something like that. And I know some of y'all probably say, yeah, but this is about the children, though. It ain't for them, it's the children. But yeah, though. But really, if you giving them that, though, to me, you helping them out with the funeral expenses and all that, and I just don't feel comfortable with giving them anything to help these assholes out with shit, so but it is what the grandma is doing, and she feel like this is what she need to do for them young boys. Then hey, I guess I can't knock that, but that's just how I feel about this case. She was neglectful. She knew this dude get high on wherever the hell he get high on, and you left them children with this man, and he up there high as fuck, he's shaking these children. Okay, so let me go a little deeper in this. Shaken baby syndrome. They say this is shaken baby syndrome. It's a serious brain injury resulting from forcefully shaking an infant or toddler. It is also known as abusive head trauma, shaken impact syndrome, inflicted head injury, or whiplash, shaken infant syndrome. Shaken baby syndrome destroys a child's brain cells and prevents his or her brain from getting enough oxygen. This form of child abuse can cause permanent brain damage or death. Shaken baby syndrome is preventable. Help is available for parents who are at risk of harming a child. Parents also can educate other caregivers about the dangers of shaken baby syndrome. Wow. So, guys, this is why I tell y'all, please be careful who you leave your children with, because this can happen to anybody. It ain't just whites or blacks, this happened all across the globe, with a lot of these folks, you just don't know who is really there for you and who is not there for you. You don't know who's really out to hurt you or not. But, this is ridiculous, and both of them look like they pretty much get high, just judging by its cover, but both of them look like they just high, just be strung out on some shit, So, with that being said, okay, apparently this ain't the first time this woman left children with this man. You got 2 damn children. Y'all children, what they saying, that died at the hands, or it sound like it may have been him both times. How can you stay with a man like that who sit up there and just kill your children like that? I don't get that. Let alone, like I said in the Troy Courier case I just did earlier. How do y'all, if women's the one that's supposed to be giving us birth and all and things like that, how can y'all just sit back and just be negligent like that and just allow these fools just to do whatever the hell they want with these children. I just don't understand how y'all can just allow this, and people having sympathy for y'all when y'all do this. I really don't, I mean, unless it's just something that's just under your control or whatnot, they'll be slightly different. But I just don't have no remorse for anybody who does this to children, okay, at all. And let alone you being negligent and allowing foods to do this to your children, okay? And it's just sad and upsetting, man. Then we got the story with Quentin Simmons, just all type of fuckery that's just going on, okay? All type of fuckery. And this is why I say about, people who being dope dealers and all that. Man, y'all doing all that shit in the streets. Y'all don't think this shit follow y'all? Y'all do it in the street knowing you got children. You got to go home every day knowing you out here doing dirt. I don't know. Everybody don't think like me. If I have children, well, first of all, I don't even think I want to even do nothing like that knowing I got children, knowing that anything can go wrong. I got to keep looking on my shoulder, thinking somebody out to get me or somebody out to rob me. Even if I didn't do nothing wrong, people just get jealous and greedy because you probably getting more than them and they want to take from you. You hear stores all across the globe, especially down here in Memphis when it comes to stuff like that. People will sit up there and do stuff and then turn around and rob you and take it back. It's just crazy like that, man. I just can't see myself being a dope boy and things like that. And then got to come home every night when my children lay their head at and think nothing going to happen. When you live in that life, something is always bound to happen. We're hearing stories now that these folks don't give a fuck, man. You in this dope game, they shooting everything. Like I always say, it used to be a time where they would star you out because your children was around. But these people's not caring no more, man. They are blazing folks' ass up, okay? And don't give a damn no children around. And I heard it's getting worse in Chicago. These fools pulling up, they blazing, and these children get caught in the crossfire, And the word is getting crazy, man. It's getting cold. So, ladies and gentlemen, please, y'all just be careful who y'all let around your children, man. Be careful who you let babysit your children, If you can help it, the only people who probably need to babysit your children is the mom and the dad, and maybe the grandmothers. But see, you get to the point now you can't even trust the grandmamas now because the grandmamas out here doing dirty shit now. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. And just like that, Billy Joe, Billy Joe just got arrested, but I don't think it had anything to do with Leilani and Quentin. I think it's something about a court case or something from what I was told, so I don't think it got nothing to do with the actual case or whatnot. But who knows what might happen later? Who knows what might happen later? And the sad part about these folks, what the law says? They are innocent until proven guilty. How about that? They are innocent until proven guilty. So sad. So sad. Ladies and gentlemen, always, thank you for listening. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Or anybody, or anyone of y'all who know these folks, man, I would love to talk to y'all. Tell me, man, what's really going on with this? Yeah. Y'all be careful out there. On your man, Chris Storms. Peace out.